And I think we are going. Welcome, everybody, and move over, kids. This is the Saturday morning podcast. You know, I missed Saturday morning cartoons so much that I figured I'd just do a podcast instead. That's David right there. And then we've got William right here. Yep. And this is me. Hi, how is everybody today? Look at that nerdoid over my shoulder. You'll see that tomorrow or on Monday on my mail call Monday. So David, I found out live on air one day that David is part of this thing called Sock Puppet Parody, and coincidentally, I was buying puppets, like Mario puppets and stuff, and like I found out on air that he's part of this thing, and I was like, what? I was just taken aback, and then Riley asked me, like, are you buying puppets after you found out David was in Sock Puppet Parody? And because his channel has like 100,000 subscribers or something, and it's not fully his channel, he's the arms of a puppet, blah 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 blah, but I just say that it's his channel. So if the creator of Sock Puppet Parody ever says anything, David, this is my words, not David's. Anyways, so I said to Riley, no, I was buying the puppets before. In fact, right after that show, I made David look at an invoice, so he knew I wasn't trying to, like, coincidentally, I have an interest in puppets, David. Yeah. So is that true, David? I made you look at an invoice immediately after that?
Yeah, you did, of course. I signed some other papers. I don't know what it was about, but
right. So how you guys doing? Devin, once again, will not be joining us. Some people are like, Devin who? Because he hasn't been around for like 3 or 4 podcasts. I told him I'd talk smack about it this week. Let's see, 1 week his fiance was sick. The next week he had an exam for his job to get certified. This week his computer took a crap. Next week, we'll probably, like, I don't know, he's baking cookies next week. Let's play What's Devin's Excuse next week. We'll play that later. But hopefully he'll be joining us he said he'll be here with us next week. So, guys, it's been a crazy week. Anything you want to throw out there right away?
Not really much. Working a lot of hours doing the Christmas thing, and you can see right behind me, I got some of the pieces off of the display for Smash Brothers. They decided 2 days later the display was completely empty. Hey, let's toss this thing.
Okay,
they're wheeling it to the back, and like, Will, get to cutting. You can have some of the pieces off of it.
Oh man, I'd have probably taken the whole thing.
I have no room for the whole thing.
I'm
sure if you've ever seen the displays they put up, like right when a movie comes out, that are like 5-6 feet tall. They got 4 sides to them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Right over here, I've got the other. Like, these are just 2 pieces to it.
You know,
so there's the Pikachu and the cloud.
It's interesting. First off, let me give a shout out to Nick Clayton and Dan Curo. What's up, guys? Oh yeah, throw David under the bus. Yeah, probably when I was talking about the stuff. You know, it's interesting that you have Link and Mega Man up. I actually considered having them one of the focuses of today's show in that, okay, so last Mail Call Monday, on the last episode of Mail Call Monday on the Move Over Kids channel, I opened a package, right? And it was from a guy. Me and him, we have a friendly little debate going of who's better, Mega Man or Zelda? And obviously, I'm a Zelda person. And this person's like, Mega Man. And he sent me something and got the last word in. And because he gave it to me as a gift, I just let him have the last word. But who's better, Mega Man or Link or Zelda? Like
I enjoy the Mega Man series a lot, but I like the Zelda series as well.
Okay, but you have to pick though, one or the other. Who's better?
I don't think I can.
You gotta.
No, I can't.
Nintendo said they're gonna close the. They're gonna just shut down. They're gonna shut down if you don't pick one.
Probably Mega Man.
Oh, he's Mega Man.
Only because that's the series I've liked the longest.
Okay. Okay. I am surprised. Capcom, you better get on this. I know you've been making some headway back in, but I am actually shocked by the Mega Man love that I've been hearing. Let's go with you now, David. Mega Man or Zelda?
Zelda.
Zelda. Why?
Yeah. Probably familiarity and the tenure that it has in my life. I've played Zelda ever since I was a kid. Mega Man, I didn't have a NES and I didn't own a Super Nintendo, but I did play one. So my extent of Mega Man is like Mega Man Legends 1, Mega Man 64, Mega Man X, Mega Man Battle Network on the GameCube.
Which Battle Network? I really liked Battle Network.
Battle Network, and then also the Battle Network games on the Game Boy Advance. So I know I'm listing a bunch of Mega Man games, but I can equally list the same, if not more, for Zelda. So
You're like,
Zelda,
I don't know any Mega Man game, then you list off 20.
No, but I mean, Mega Man, when I think of Mega Man, I think of certain memories in my life. But when I think of Zelda, I think of certain like imagination trips I had when I was a kid when I was playing Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, like there's this meme out there that it's like playing Ocarina of Time as a kid, and it shows like this very like super vast Skyrim-esque world, and it says playing Zelda as an adult, and it just shows Hyrule Field from Ocarina of Time, like in its graphical representation. And it's really funny because it's kind of like the tricks, you know, tricks are for kids scenario. It's like when we're kids, our mind tends to fill in more than what's really there.
Oh yeah.
But when we're older, we kind of see things for its like true integrity, I suppose.
Yeah, we're all jaded adults. We're like, what's this crap? It has corners. Why does the grass have corners?
we've essentially become the tricks rabbit. So
yeah. Oh man. Now that's deep. That's deep, guys.
Yeah,
usually we don't get this deep until like the second hour.
Usually we need 60 formula to get these deep, man.
Yeah, we're 60. Tell us why our collection, we should sell it. Get dogs. Just kidding. 60 formula is an awesome guy. Okay, so let's get the topic of today. I put on the thing, if you could only pick one, and that kind of goes, I guess, with... Oh, by the way, I'm the tiebreaker, so it's Zelda all the way. Sorry, Canadian dude from Vintage Games and Junk. Mega Man loses. So, the topic of today, we can get to it in a minute, is going to be... What did I put for the thumbnail? It's like you could only pick one. You could only pick one game. You can think about it.
If I can interrupt,
like the Highlander.
I will say that one of the spirit events from Smash that gave me between Zelda and the Mega Man series is there was this one Mega Man one that just I won't say what happens, but it absolutely drove me nuts because it was so hard and I don't even know how I beat it. So if it means anything, the Mega Man series has definitely given me a run for my money. So
yeah, I'm glad Mega Man has seen a revival. I don't know, I get why it kind of died out for a second because it just seemed like nobody wanted, like for a minute, old school stuff was just horrible. Nobody wanted platformers. I thought, like, there was a moment where I thought platformers were dead, and thankfully, I don't know if it was the indies that really saved them or whatnot, but you know, they came back, and I mean, there was a long stretch of time without a classic core Mega Man game. Same with Sonic, and it might have been Mario saved it, like with the new Super Mario series on the DS, and it just seemed like after that there was people just were like, oh yeah, I remember this stuff. I like it. I don't know.
Well, Mighty Number 9 didn't exactly help any.
No, unfortunately.
Yeah.
What happened with Mighty Number 9? Mighty Number 9, for anyone who doesn't know, basically the creator of Mega Man went and did his own thing. He did it on Kickstarter, and then it got picked up, but, I mean, and it's like, it's a spiritual successor of Mega Man, but to be fair, I never played it, but from everything I heard, it sucked. It absolutely sucked. And now, I'm not exactly, that doesn't mean it's law that it sucks but I don't think so.
They also had all of the rewards for the Kickstarter. They had one that was you could get a classic box for the box would be styled after the NES or after the Famicom. So they released those later on. I think they released them last year or so. I know it was after the game had already been released and people were wondering where they were going to be. So people received them. It was the box and an instruction manual. And the box, the Famicom style box, the manual did not fit inside the box.
Ugh. Why did that game suck so bad, though? Like,
and it was supposed to be in color, and it wasn't in color. The box was in color, but the manual wasn't in color.
Do you know why that game sucked so bad, though? Was it just, like, broken? Was it frame rates?
I think they tried to put what they could into it. Things just didn't work out right. I haven't even gotten a chance to play it.
Oh, and I feel really bad for Keiji Inafune, the father of Mega Man, because he was kind of ousted from Capcom in the same way that Kojima was from Konami. Mm-hmm. And Keiji Inafune, I feel like, had some bitterness, and he kind of wanted to do, in essence, like an I'll show them kind of thing. And he fell flat on his face, and it's just, I just feel for the guy because Capcom at the end of the day is a big business, and they had to do a business move and cut him from whatever they needed to cut him from. And his passion project didn't end up doing well. And so I feel bad for him, but these failures make you stronger. So hopefully, I've been hearing rumors that Capcom will bring him back in for an actual entry in the Mega Man franchise again, like a new one, like a 3D one. So that'd be pretty cool because Mega Man Legends 3 was canned like 6 years ago, and it looks so cool from what I saw from it.
Yeah, I can't believe they did that. Like out of the blue, they're like, "Oh no, we're actually not going to do this now."
And he was really progressive in, like, I don't know if you remember the development cycle for that game, but he was pretty much kind of rounding up fans and saying, "You fans can be part of this game too if you send us like texture files and fan art. We'll put it in the game. You can create." The fans created a new Mega Man character. Her name was, I forgot what it was, but she was there were fan entries.
I can find it real quick.
And there were all kinds of fan artwork, and it's amazing that Keiji Inafune actually picked one of these and was making it into a canonically new character. And just the demise of the game itself is pretty upsetting.
Yeah, I feel for the guy as well. To me, you never hear about this stuff with Nintendo. It's like someone creates some iconic character, and they're just like, 30 years later, they create another one. It's like Nintendo. I don't know why there's this vast cultural difference when it comes to these other. I mean, I guess why did they get rid of the? I forget I can't pronounce his name. The Snake guy, the guy who created Snake, and like why?
Kojima?
Yeah, why? What happened there? Why was he suddenly ousted after so long? Like, did he just want too much money? And it's like, doesn't he deserve that amount of money at this point?
William could probably explain it better, but pretty much I think the nutshell was that Konami was making more money from pachinko machines in Japan and gambling machines, and I think they just wanted to cut ties from Kojima because I think Kojima was kind of an expensive guy. He had an expensive vision, all these affiliations with the game. Like, I think Metal Gear Solid 5 had an affiliation with Puma, the actual brand Puma.
Gotcha.
And it was really expensive, and Kojima is just like kind of like I'd probably say like a Spielberg or George Lucas of the company, where he has expensive tastes. You got to have the best composer, you got to have the best this and that. And Konami, I think, was just trying to trim fat, and it caused some murky water. And at the end of the day, Kojima was ousted by the big guys, the big wigs. The employees actually, in a weird way, a side thing, their latest release without Kojima, there were rumors going on that the employees hid secret messages in the game to honor Kojima.
Nice.
Which they did.
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
There's like secret soldiers with like acronyms for names or an abbreviation for names, and if you put them all together down the list, it spelled something like "Long Live Kojima" or something like that.
Love that.
And but pretty much that's what happened. Is just there was just some tension there, and Kojima had been there for like 20 plus years, so there was some bad blood there.
That really sucks because on one hand, I'll say things, and I guess it goes both ways. There's just a line though that a company has to walk, because I'll say things like Nintendo. You know, they're at the end of the day, they're a business and they got to make money, and they want to make money, but it seems like they also have an attitude of we're willing to not squeeze this dollar so tight, you know, that it costs someone their job or something like that, you know. And so I get it. Konami, they're a business. They want to just make more money. That's what a business does. If a business is an organism, all it wants to do is make more money. And so I get that, but it's like, couldn't they just like let them have like one solid thing, no pun intended, and then just make a ton of money off of the machines or whatever you said they were?
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like Sega, like I don't hear that happening to Sega, but I have heard it happen to Capcom. Capcom seems to be kind of coming back to the I don't know, the what's the non-dark side of the Star Wars universe? The Jedi side?
The light side.
The light side? Okay, so they're coming to the light side. It just doesn't sound right, the light side. The dark side, you know, it's ominous, but it seems like Capcom, though, has kind of started stepping back a little to the old school. But
I took a look. Yeah, it's when you look at the names in it's the game Metal Gear Survive. If you look at the names, you go down the list, because it says KGP Forever, which is Kojima Productions.
And I think you could see a little bit of that remnant in Smash 2, where Sakurai and Kojima are like best of friends essentially. And there's this rumor going around back in like 2004 or 05 where the rumor is Kojima practically got on his knees and begged Sakurai to put Snake in Brawl, and it's just like them teasing each other. But if you notice Snake's logo in Ultimate compared to Brawl, in Brawl it's the Fox Die logo, which is Kojima Productions logo as well, where it has his name, Kojima Productions. If you notice in Brawl it's there, but in Ultimate, it's replaced with an exclamation mark.
Oh, I did not.
Yeah, that's also known symbol in the series as well. But
so it's theorized that Sakurai is doing that in essence to not disrespect Kojima and also not piss off Konami, because you know the bad blood between them. But if it means anything, you know, good things come from bad things, and Kojima being ousted, and you know this happening 3 years ago, he's developed his new studio, he's got his new game coming out, and it looks really cool, Death Stranding. There was even a picture the day after the release of Smash where Sakurai actually visited him and took a picture with him. I don't know if you saw it, Ken.
I did not,
but I'll put it up here in the thing. But it's kind of interesting how those things fold out.
That is cool. I'm glad Kojima has been able to move on, I guess. And while I know I'm not the biggest non-Nintendo follower and stuff, so I really don't, even though like a lot of the older... Oh, wait a second. Let me get it. All right. There you go. All right. Look at that.
And he pretty much essentially takes all these big guys into his studio. It's rumored right now that he's even going to take Kanye West, because Kanye West on Twitter was saying, "Hey, I'm in New York and I heard Kojima's here. Can I please meet him?" And Jeff Keighley, the director of the Game Awards, was like, "I got you, man." And it's just weird how these things work out. But I think Kanye West is going to be in the studio hanging out with him. So.
I hope they filmed that. I hope it's part of, like, I don't know, is the Kardashian show still on? Because I hope that I'll watch that episode.
It's promoting his new album, I think.
I'll watch that episode. As Sid Patel says, it looks like Death Stranding looks like a walking sim. Any comments on that?
I think someone described it as like the FedEx simulation because it's just transferring a big package from one side of the world to the other. Yeah.
It's oh my gosh, it's so funny.
But I'm definitely drinking the Kool-Aid because whatever that he's one of those guys like Sakurai that whatever they put out, I'm into it. And there's another meme going around that, you know, for every new Death Stranding trailer that's being put out, there's a certain ratio of people saying, I just don't understand Death Stranding. That's the quote. Because if you notice, if you watch his trailers, Ken, I'm sure you're gonna binge watch all his trailers for the new game.
I am.
But people, it's kind of like the inception of games. It's kind of like it's everywhere. It's in Kojima's mind, and a lot of people are complaining like, I just don't know what's going on. I don't know what it's about. But you got to remember, it's Kojima and it's his mind. You just got to go with it.
I think my wife referred to it as the game with the babies.
Yeah, the baby. Yeah. There's babies in there, and they're kind of like a central point. There's Guillermo del Toro is also in it too.
That's the Walking Dead guy, right?
He's the Pan's Labyrinth, Pacific Rim, Hellboy guy.
Yeah. Oh, him. Okay. I wonder if I should pull up a trailer and let us all watch it together.
It'd be cool if you could like put it live. Are you able to? Does the Elgato have that type of feature?
Yeah, I could. Well, I would do it in a way. Yes, it does. But what I would do, it would almost be like you guys would have to watch it on YouTube itself. I don't know how to. I can share the screen, but I don't really know how to yet. I never tried it, so maybe next time. I'll try to play with it around this week.
Yeah, for another time.
Yeah. So, okay. So Ijima. So, and it's an Inception. So are we gonna be playing a video game within a video game? Like,
it's got something to do with like time travel.
Oh man.
Time travel, parallel universes, and like dark energy and all this weird stuff. So
David, there's a cute little thing about Guillermo del Toro that when he was working on Pacific Rim, the young actress in it could not pronounce his name.
Are you talking about
the one that played young Mako?
Oh, Mako, yeah.
So he gave her special permission to refer to him as Totoro-san after my neighbor Totoro because he's a big guy.
He's a big guy. Yeah. That's funny. And what's funny is that he's Mexican and his name is Guillermo, but the kind of like William, your nickname would be Bill, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's what my whole family calls me is Bill.
Bill or Billy or whatever.
Yeah.
For Guillermo, it's Memo. 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 So some people don't know how to pronounce his name and they just call him Memo del Toro.
I never heard that one.
Yeah. I have a cousin named Guillermo and an uncle named Guillermo, so they go by Memo. Yeah.
When I introduce myself, people always think I say Kent. That's mine. That's all I get. I don't know why.
There's people that can't spell my last name even though it's 4 letters.
Old.
They think there's an E in it.
Old.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, they think it ends in ES.
Man, my last name has been butchered for centuries. It's Castillo, but I've heard Costello, like Elvis Costello.
That's what I would think too. Yeah.
Castillo, Castle. It's all over the place.
Yeah, so. When we first did our interview with you, I had to I was like, am I saying? Well, I can't call all right, so what's going on with Smash Brothers? David tried to get me online the other day, but I was like, I forget what I was doing, but I was doing something.
Yeah.
Christmas season is I am so swamped at my actual the job that actually pays. So I don't know. But have you been playing online? We're a week later. You don't have any cousins that are going to come in for a special guest appearance today, do you, David?
I do have a cousin in the other room, but
If you're watching, cousin, you're welcome. I don't want to I don't want you to think he's playing favorites. All David's cousins are welcomed onto the show.
yeah, no, a week later, you've let your palate like perfectly savor the game, and man, it's just a lot of fun. I've got all the characters as of last night.
Oh, congratulations!
I think I'm missing 10 right now. I've only been doing classic mode, unlocking them.
I'm still missing some, but the problem is I got the ones that I really wanted, so it's almost like I still have to continue forward because I don't have Ken from Street Fighter yet, but
I don't have him yet either.
I have like the ones I have Peach, Daisy, and I'm actually really liking Wii Fit Trainer. So that was kind of a surprise for me. I got Incineroar, which I really wanted because I'm a big pro wrestling fan. And, yeah, not a Pokemon fan. I wanted it for the wrestling moves. And, who else did I really want? All the, Ridley and King K. Rool, you wanted those guys because they're super new. And Isabelle got them. So that's my main problem. I got the ones that I wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could probably talk about the patch that was released a few days ago.
Yeah, let's talk about the patch. But let's. I kind of interrupted you. Your palette is clean now. What were you saying?
Yeah, the game is as amazing as it was a week ago, and it just keeps getting better every single day. I find that Smash, and this is a no-brainer, but I know people prefer one-on-ones a lot. I think those are very intense and they're very they're very exciting, but I think my absolute favorite way is just like items, 4 people, random stages, have at it. I think that's like the funnest that Smash is. And I know a lot of competitive Smashers out there are like, what? That's blasphemy. But I think that's just, you get the craziest, wackiest situations with 4 players or more. I had 5 players the other day. And it's just a lot of fun, man. Like, I don't know, William, do you prefer one-on-ones or do you do group?
I've just been doing single player, so when it gets to having more than the other opponent on there, yeah, I don't mind it.
Well, let's say you have 4 people over your house, and they all want to play Smash Brothers. How would you?
Yeah,
I would
do that.
What would your rules be?
Just how it is, unless people have a preference.
So you just go with the flow.
I've never been much for the online or the multiplayer. I haven't really done much multiplayer with the game.
Oh, okay. So you're one of the few. You're actually leading into this. You're kind of like EPS 5000 maybe. He was always like, I loved the single player, and I would tell people, don't buy it for the single player. Actually, I think this one, though, I might say you can buy it for the single player.
Yes, but I don't think I've played any multiplayer in the series since maybe Melee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll answer you, David. First off, though, Nick sounds like he doesn't have it yet. Oh, man, that sucks for you because it's so cool and so awesome. At this point, just FYI, everyone, if it's been released in the game, like, if you can beat it, we're allowed to talk about it on this channel at this point. We don't talk about any kind of, like, leaks or data mined info, so please respect that in the comments. But in my opinion, I think all the data mine stuff turned out to be kind of sort of wrong, at least in the fact that the Joker, I guess, from what I hear, was not actually in the data mine. We're allowed to talk about
it was not.
Yeah, we're allowed to talk about the Joker as well. Not the Batman Joker, Persona 5 Joker, because he was revealed via the Video Game Awards, via Reggie, via Nintendo of America, via
via satellite.
Yeah, via satellite. I was trying to. How many vias can I get into this? Via me telling you guys.
Show interruption.
It's I know we're not in single player talk. Yeah, and actually, I'm not at the end, so if we talk about the end, I'll just mute it or whatever. But, man, I just have to say, Brawl's Subspace Emissary was fun for that side-scroller kind of platform action, but I'm really, really surprised how much World of Light has taken me up by storm because it's got these, like, it's a very rudimentary RPG element that it has. It's not like Xenoblade levels of intricacy. But it's really interesting it's like I'm playing Smash in a different way, or I'm playing Smash like kind of like when I played Smash for the first time 20 years ago, where I was like, this is something new. I was There was a match where I was playing against, I'm not sure, but pretty much, I was kind of like autopiloting my spirits. I was letting the computer decide for me. And then I noticed that if I pick a certain spirit that's really strong against metal types, that I would do better against these metal opponents. And just by doing that simple thing, it kind of clicked in my head that, this is like Smash, but in a whole different light, pun intended. And it's really interesting and it's fun. It's like I kind of I want to 100% the game now. So
Yeah, I am nowhere near the end. So I couldn't even tell you. All I've heard about the end, and I have to stop people. I always say, "Stop! Don't tell me about the end," because I heard that the end boss battle is like really cool. That's all I've really heard about the ending, and so I'm excited about getting to that. I haven't played. The first day I played a lot of World of Light because I thought that was the main way to unlock people. Then when I found out it wasn't, I went to classic mode to start unlocking, and I did win my first online battle the other day. And but what I was gonna say in reference to how I prefer to play, I'm with you, David. On like I prefer items on. I prefer four or more. I prefer the more the better. I think I've only played one 8-player mode, and it is insane. But most of my experience of Smash Brothers comes from 4 players melee. And so, to me, I figure it'll get one-on-one eventually. So, I play one-on-one. I have to get through, I have to kill 2 other people first. Or, because I sandbag a lot, the other person has to kill 2 other people first before I go after them. And, and I'm with you on the weapons or items, whatever. Give me trophies. Give me Pokemon. Give me those dumb hammers that are going to kill me the moment I see them. Because morning, Veronica David, or AKA David's mom. How are you? We're talking Smash Brothers. Surprise, surprise. I'm with you on that. And I did a video, five ways to make your Smash Brothers experience better, and I could kick myself for leaving this one off. And basically, it's to play with the items on and do random stages. Although I will say this though, there were a couple stages that we would eliminate from our random queue because we just hated them. I forget what they were, but I think there were a couple, like the ice climber board. But then we actually put them back on because we were like, whatever, we'll just do them. And I wish I would have said, you want to play with your items on, and you want to play random battles, and you want to play with the more people the possible, because this year I read Sakurai basically said this was the way to get your most experience out of it. Don't fall into a pattern of playing Smash Brothers. You want to put the items on, that way you can never have the same battle twice. Because if me and David play just the 2 of us for 100 matches in a row with no items, just on Final Destination, by match number 80, we're probably going to have the same match every single time. So Sakurai basically said that's why you should play with items, because you just throw banana peels, just banana peels in, you won't have the same match. Now you throw in this Pokemon, that, it becomes a whole different game, because now you're like, are you going to try to run for the Pokeball? If you try to run for the Pokeball, now you're exposed, because you're aimed at one thing, and if that other person doesn't go for that Pokeball at the same time, he might be trying to kick you in the head, or he might be shooting the Samus blast cannon at you. And then you throw the Pokeball, and now you have the advantage because now you can go on attack while Snorlax is filling up it becomes a totally different game. And I get why in competitive Smash you don't necessarily want that, but I think the competitive Smash players are missing a huge portion of the game that Sakurai himself has said is a vital part of the game, because this is definitely Sakurai always tries to play down the competitive aspect of it, and it's definitely a competitive game. He can totally make it a pro game, but he does make it where you can either be pro or have fun with it in a very casual method.
I'd say if you're shutting off the items, you're using any of the stages where it's just flat, giving everyone an equal chance. That's where the pro battles are.
Yeah.
I mean, the game can be fun in a party way. The game can be fun in a competitive way. The same way, two people playing Street Fighter can have fun. That's why, like, when people say it's not a fighting game, it absolutely is a fighting game.
Oh my god!
It's just not the same style of fighting game that Street Fighter is. I'm sure that when Tekken came along and there was the 3D movement to the characters, well, that's not a fighting game because everyone thought of Street Fighter, that style.
Right.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I'm amazed that there's so many different types of fighting games.
Yeah.
What does anyone know what the last great fighting game that was created though? Because it seems like everything has been in the same. It's either Tekken or Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or Smash Brothers at this point.
The Persona fighting game is really fun.
Persona?
It's based off the same style as BlazBlue.
Okay.
If you've ever played that series.
Did Arc System make that?
I believe so, yes.
Arc System Works. I love their style of games because I think they made the Persona fighting game. They also made BlazBlue, and they also recently just made Dragon Ball Fighters. So
I forgot that they worked on that.
I think that's the last new great fighting game, or at least has the potential of being it. Maybe ARMS too. ARMS probably has the potential if Nintendo will really dive in. And I wish Nintendo would dive back into Punch Out and really try to make that into something. I know they did with the Wii. With the Wii, they kind of brought it back. Mm-hmm. I think they could make Punch Out into a really great series that would be very different than all the other fighting games out there. Same with
it could be interesting as VR.
Yeah, it would be. But Dragon Ball Fighter is one that, it came out. I thought it was kind of a cash grab on the name, the franchise. A lot of IPs that don't originate with video games usually suck, and this one apparently didn't. And I haven't played it, but I've heard very good things about it from people who are Dragon Ball fans, even. So it's like, cool.
Although I'd like to see them do, instead of strictly Dragon Ball, if they could do that same style and get characters from different types of anime.
I think there's one coming out, actually. Wasn't there?
Well, they're doing, but it's all the same company.
Shonen.
Yeah, Shonen. It's all Shonen characters,
only
just
if
like
your character has originated from a Shonen Jump comic, which leaves out a lot of popular anime franchises.
Because they did Jump Superstars, which was kind of a Smash Brothers clone.
Yeah,
on the DS.
Yeah, it was like 2005, and I think it was import only. My friend had it.
I have a copy of it. I just don't have a copy of the sequel.
It's really fun. I personally, a lot of people are asking for these big time characters, but I just want them to put Kinnikuman, Kid Muscle, in Jump Force. I think that'd be. I don't know if you guys ever watched Ultimate Muscle. It's the wrestling anime.
Yeah. Okay, I know what one you're talking about now.
Yeah, I love.
I should watch that. How long's that been on the air?
So if you're talking about the original Kinnikuman has been since the 80s. That's his father. That's the father character. And then there was a revival in 2002, 2003, 2001, something like that.
And the series just never really picked up over here. We just got the little figures in the 80s.
The 80s never picked up here, but the Ultimate Muscle was really popular here.
But the thing I remember fondly was the tiny little characters that you could get. There came in packs of like 5 or 10. They came in buckets. There's different color. Oh, that actually reminds me. Hold on. You guys keep talking.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Oh, by the way, everybody listening. So I hit 1,000 subscribers last week, and I've ended my one contest I'm gonna give away some games. I basically, honestly, I wasn't sure if I'd ever make it. Like in March or June, I said if I make 1,000 subscribers by next February, I'll give away 3 games. So I'm gonna do that. I wanted to do it yesterday or Thursday, but I had to work or whatever at my day job. So tomorrow, after my day job, which because I work at like 5 a.m. to like noon tomorrow. After that, I'll do like a live pick of the games. I've never done it through Gleam, but Gleam seems to be what all the popular YouTubers use for their stuff. So I'll just do a quick 5-minute video on, okay, this is who I'm picking, and then I'll give out stuff. I'm going to do another one. I'm not sure exactly what my prizes are going to be for the next one. I want to keep it a little more. Here's the problem. I'm still so small that it takes me a while to get to that next tier. But I don't want to just keep giving out games because it costs a lot of money. So if I were to be like, oh yeah, my next game I'll give out Smash Brothers once I hit 2,000. Well, you know, I might hit 2,000 in like 8 months where everybody already has Smash Brothers. So I don't know what exactly I'm going to do. Should I just do it? Do you guys think? I don't know. I might just do an eShop card. I don't know what I'm going to do just yet. But
I don't know.
But I will continuously do contests to get to that next tier. And there's something also going on right now. I wouldn't be too worried about it, but I wanted to throw this out there because I guess YouTube is getting rid of some spam accounts. And I don't go for spam accounts. I don't like them. But it looked like I had I think 20 or 30 of them. And it was probably people just trying to double up on winning. So if anyone out there has created a spam account, just delete it from my channel because it doesn't really help me. And it doesn't actually help you either in the contest because when I hit the Gleam thing, it will actually know if you're a spam account or not. So I don't know. And I'm sure good intentions were involved, but it won't matter. And it hurts me in the long run. And does that make sense? Is that cool? So everyone, I will do another contest soon. And right now, the 1,000 one has ended, and I'll start another one up soon, and I'll draw the winners tomorrow. So what were you going to show us, William?
Okay, so we were talking about muscle. There's a company called Super 7, which has been making muscle figures based off other properties. So they've done He-Man, they've done Aliens, I believe they did Street Fighter as one of them, but they went and they did Mega Man muscles.
Oh,
and this
wow.
this one was a collector's for one of the conventions, and they had some left on their website, so I picked that one up.
I just saw that robot thing in Smash yesterday, actually.
But yeah, it's all based off of the muscles and based off the properties that the characters are. It's just really cool that they went and did that. I don't know if they've added more companies to it, but some of the He-Man ones, they did some of the vehicles as well.
Hey, 60 Formula, what's up, my man? We actually were kind of making. We brought you up earlier. We were kind of lightheartedly talking about you. 60 Formula is a guy who loves dogs. So if anybody is a avid dog follower, go check him out. And Riley, yeah, I'm excited about Celeste. I'm a little bummed, actually, that I just bought Celeste on the eShop. I waited. I was like, forget it. I got to see what this is about.
When was it being released physically? It was through Limited Run Games, wasn't it?
Yeah, Limited Run Games is going to do it, I believe, January 1st. It's going to be the first.
Okay.
Yeah, next week they're doing Windjammers, and then the following week they're doing Celeste. I'm going to pick that up. I'll probably do an unboxing. I have so many videos I got to do. I got unboxings I want to do, but I've just been slammed, like I said, at work. Once December's done, my work just completely it just stops existing, basically. If
they're doing open pre-orders for Windjammers, that's great. Get in there, pick that up. If they're only doing it as limited for that day, go for it, because the last time they did Windjammers on, I think it was on the PS4, it sold out. So if you're interested in that game, go for it when it goes up for pre-order.
Usually,
as Riley was saying, 10 Eastern Standard Time, and then they do a second batch at 6 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, usually their collectors will sell because they only do like 4,000, but they'll for Switch games they hold a pre-order, and it'll probably hit about 10,000 to 15,000 released. I wouldn't be surprised if Celeste gets a Best Buy released, because this is a little controversial for people who are limited run game followers, but limited run games recently got a deal with Best Buy that Best Buy can pretty much put in an order just like everybody else, because limited run games, they do their 4,000 collector's editions, whatever, and then they do open pre-orders. And so let's just say December 31st, pre-orders for Windjammers no more, and I put in a pre-order for 5 copies. Well, Best Buy, I guess, is allowed to also put in a pre-order, but they're going to put in a pre-order for 10,000 copies. And then they'll get a different cover and stuff. A lot of people that were really upset about that. I don't really have too much of an opinion on it, because I just see it, limited run games is expanding. They got to be careful not to expand too soon, but they've been pretty open and honest about everything. I would say I was the only ones that... The way they did their first 2, though, I guess is a little... I could see a little pushback, because they did it with Golf Story and Yooka-Laylee. And the reason why I see that as a little shady on Limited Run's part is that some collectors were only buying it because,
got my Golf Story right here.
Yeah, that's the Best Buy version.
No, this is the one I got from them.
Oh, okay, so that's from them.
Yeah.
I could see it being a little shady on their part, only because maybe a collector like yourself would have, and I'm not saying you did, but maybe, like, I'm only buying it because there's only going to be 3,000 copies. And then a month later, it's revealed that Best Buy has ordered 30,000 copies and will be available in the store. And, well, I had to pay shipping, all that stuff. So for the first 2 games, I think it was shady on Limited Run's part to not announce it. But from this point forward, I see everything on the up and up with that kind of deal. Does anybody disagree with that or have any thoughts?
I pick up what I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I know it's going to be really limited, I'm like, you know what? It could be limited. They could have 2 copies, and I might be able to get my hands on one of them. If I'm not interested in the game, I'm not picking it up. I don't worry about how much it's going to cost later on. If I pick something up, it happens to be more expensive later on. Hey, that's cool. It's like I've got my Night Trap. A lot of people had a problem trying to get Night Trap, and I managed to get it during.
What version is that?
That's the PS4 version.
Okay,
which was really difficult to get.
I have let's see, because I want to do an unboxing of this. I want to do some playthrough of this too, because I actually did a video. But first off, Riley, I did not know my lip syncing is in the podcast is a bit delayed. That's weird. I don't know how I can fix that one. You guys might have to deal with it for this time. I'm sorry about that. I'll try to see what I can do. It's different. If there was a hum or something, I can fix that. But lip syncing might be an internet connection type thing, so I might have to call my internet provider. Though, thank you for letting me know, though.
And they just increased the speed of our internet over here, so.
Yeah, I'll just see. It could be a YouTube thing, because YouTube's been doing some crazy things. Like I said, they're deleting accounts left and right, spam accounts and whatnot. So, I don't know. Maybe it could be a YouTube thing. So, we'll see about that. But I've got Night Trap. That game fascinates me because of its history when the president of Nintendo at the time said, Night Trap will never appear on a Nintendo system. 26 years later, we got a physical edition of it. And so, and it's just a cheesy B movie. But, yeah, I'm excited that Celeste is coming, because the more hands it gets in, the better. I saw the people at the Video Game Awards, and I don't know, for some reason, this stuff usually doesn't affect me at all. Okay, so, I battle mental disease or whatever. And they did the Celeste people, they won something, they got on stage, and they said, and I didn't know this, they said, a lot of people have said that this really helped them overcome some kind of struggle. And the creator said that wasn't us. That was you. You're stronger than you think. And usually those kind of inspirational bullcrap stuff, just like, I don't know, it doesn't, like, I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. But for some reason, it seemed very genuine from the guy. And maybe it's because I deal with it, I struggle with it myself, but, like, for that moment in time, I was like, oh, wow. I was really appreciative of that statement. So, I don't know, I wish them all the success, and I'm glad they are doing what they love, and they seem like really cool people. Have you guys played Celeste?
I haven't played it. Now that there's a physical copy coming out, I'll be picking it up.
Yeah. One thing about Golf Story though is I'm surprised that it's an indie game, right? For its indie status, it was actually the president of Nintendo of Japan, Shuntaro Furukawa. Right now, he said that when he came on board as the new president, he said that his favorite game at the moment is Golf Story.
Yeah, Golf Story really has taken off. I believe it's a Nintendo Switch exclusive as well. I don't know if they had a deal to make it an exclusive, and it will probably end up on Steam and Xbox Live or whatever. But yeah, Golf Story, I've heard great things about it. I bought the limited run collector's edition. I haven't gotten it in the mail yet. That's the problem with the limited run games. If you buy the collector's edition, it's like, yeah, you get the cool whatever, but it just takes forever to get to you. Even
yeah, sooner. They're just trying to get them made and produced so they can get them out to people.
Yeah, and I don't really fault them for it, but I kind of wish they would just I don't know, I guess it's selfish of me, but I kind of wish they would just they would hold back on the regular release so everybody gets it at the same time, collectors and non-collectors. But that's just selfish, I guess, when I really stop to think about it. It's like, why don't I want the regular collectors to get it? Because I don't got mine, you know?
Yeah.
So what else, guys? Anything else on Smash Brothers, David? Like,
yeah, the patch. I wanted to talk about.
The patch. Let's talk about the patch. Give us insight on it. Just explain it all.
So I think the patch obviously took care of like some balance issues and whatnot. All the fine print that comes with the patch. But more importantly, the patch had something that so a lot of gamers were complaining about how hard the computers were for unlocking the character, and it was fun. I actually found a few matches where I got completely destroyed.
Me too.
It was by one of them was Isabel, of course, and that was just kind of humbling in my opinion. But I didn't think that Nintendo should have patched it. Think that it was exciting because there has never been a computer for unlocking a character that has flat out destroyed me in all my years of playing Smash. So I think that's the only way I've lost to a computer when I was unlocking them was when I self-destructed. I fell off the stage.
Yeah.
So so that was really funny how that was on Twitter, and all these pro Smash players were saying that, you're a big baby if you were complaining about it, or they were saying like if you got all your characters before the patch, there's like a
I saw that.
I mean, it's like I got the characters before the patch came out, so something like that.
Yeah, I got destroyed. I'm looking at the comments. Shulk was also a pain for me. The one Lucina, yeah, she dominated me too, and I don't get what. I don't think they should have fixed it. If the computers were too hard, whatever. It's Nintendo's baby. I don't really have too much of an opinion on it, one way or another. But I would have liked them not to, because it's just whatever. I'll get it eventually. I just gotta get better. It's like the computer players. It's I guess it's not like an Amiibo where it's just gonna constantly learn. It's the computer's the computer. Just figure it out.
Yeah.
But whatever. I won't get that badge, though, because like I said, I still have a couple left to go. I did finally get Lucina, though, and so I was happy. Is there anything else with the patch? I've been hearing a lot of things saying that King K. Rool, and Riley brings it up, he's overpowered. Does anyone know, are there characters that need to be nerfed? And what nerfed means is basically a Nerf gun. is, you can get hit by a Nerf gun. So basically, when you say nerf a character, you want to downgrade them so they're not so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think necessarily specifically.
Yeah, not necessarily in the game, the computer mode actually apps for actual players, because if a pro player has an ungodly character, then it's almost like, why is this pro player winning? Because they're good and they have an unfair character, or is it just because they're good? So I don't know. Anybody? What are the characters that I've heard right now that are overpowered? Are pretty much PK Rule and Splatoon, the Inkling.
And I'm hearing that Pichu is pretty high in tiers if you're doing tiers, because some of its moves put it lower to the ground that Pikachu would have had. Like some of Pikachu's really good moves are more to the ground and easier to hit opponents with.
But that doesn't necessarily make it a... That doesn't seem to be it seems to be an advantage for Pichu, but are his moves overpowered? Like, if he hits you with his up B, does it, give you 80% damage?
No, but anything that would have been a little... everything's just adjusted because of his height. So stuff that it's going to take it's going to be a little easier to hit some of those moves than it would be if you were using Pikachu. And even though you're hurting yourself when you're using the moves, I guess it's really good for people that are trying to grab the ledges. That it comes out so fast that
with Pichu, it's like, yeah, he hurts himself, and it's kind of like, but it's like he hurts himself, he gets 1% damage. It's not going to really do anything.
And I guess the speed also helps with him as well, because the game being faster.
Oh yeah. He's insanely fast. And I'm actually liking Greninja because of his speed as well. All right, so David, have you heard anything about being characters overpowered, and what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, personally, from what I've seen, is King K. Rool and Inkling are really fun to play as, probably because they pack quite the punch, man. I'm reading here there's some balance adjustments, kind of like, certain characters, they won't say why, but like Donkey Kong, Kirby, Luigi, and Ice Climbers. They actually say that Ice Climbers have a desyncing issue to where they kind of tend to float away from each other in undesirable ways. But there's also another thing that says here that that there's some gameplay fixes and computer difficulty adjustments, but yeah, that's pretty much as far as it goes. But personally, I love playing as Inkling. He feels really... It's kind of like a easy to pick up, hard to master kind of character.
The way I see with the Inkling, I thought it would be kind of a pain in the butt character, because you have to get your ink back, and I gotta give props to Sakurai. That must have been a very difficult character to make, especially when it shoots paint and it leaves paint on actual other characters.
I love that.
It's insane that he did that. That's absolutely insane. I can't even imagine he could have easily just allowed the character to shoot you and you go, and then not have paint on you.
I'm sure that's a character they wouldn't have been able to do if the game was released on the 3DS. That would be a character that they just can't get the frames per second the way they want it with all the ink there.
I'm blown away by that. But what I've seen is, though, when the Inkling rolls you're hit into the ground, and then if you can kind of power up your up B, it's almost like you go from 0 to 120 in no time, and that's where I'm thinking where people are saying overpowered is now. We got Nick Nathis here. Hey, JR Magician, what's up? Jordan is one of the patrons, and so is Nick Clayton. So appreciate you guys. And then we have hashtag autism awareness. My bud in California there, and then also Paul Cobb, William's cousin. Those are the patrons of the channel. Thank you guys. I just want to give a quick shout out there. Riley says that King K. Rool has super armor or has invincibility frames in almost every attack. I don't know. What I heard, his down B is very overpowered. King K. Rool.
Mm.
Any thoughts?
Yeah. Another technical thing about Inkling is that, you mentioned all those technical feats that they were doing about the ink and this and that, but it's also crazy that each 8 Inklings have their own paint color.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing. It's like they could have made all of them orange, even though they're the different colors.
I could have even seen them also letting you choose which color. No, pick which design you want and then pick your color.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that you have and then you got all the different skins, kind of like what they did with the Koopa kids, the Koopalings and stuff. It's like they're straight up. I mean, I get it. They're the same. It's like, I don't know. It's just still mind blowing the stuff that he's done. Sakurai, gotta go soon. Riley says, when are you gonna pick up the giveaway winners? Basically, Riley, I'm not sure if you're here for that. I said the winners, I wanted to pick them yesterday or Thursday, but I got tied up with work, my actual job, not the YouTube channel. So I'm hoping I should be able to pick them up tomorrow. Tomorrow's the first Sunday that I have the afternoon and night off this whole month. So I'm hoping to just do a live thing tomorrow. And yeah, so I'll do that. And Nick, I saw Hey, Nick Nathis, I saw your email on Facebook or your PM, DM, whatever you call it. Did you get a message from Gleam or anything? Do you know? Because I wasn't sure, because once the Gleam contest ended, that's where I'm running the contest off of. Once it ended, I wasn't sure if it gave out emails or anything. Did you hear anything? Because you're the only one that responded to me, really, when it said that the contest was over. So, Nick, if you have anything to say, just throw it in the comments or Facebook or whatever. Any characters that you're surprised with and you're like, oh, wow, I really liked that they were in the game before and now you're enjoying them? Because I'm trying way more characters. I guess I never got into the Wii U version. As I'm looking back, I'm like, yeah, I guess I didn't play the Wii U version as much as I did, even though I owned it and all that stuff. But I'm liking Wii Fit Trainer right now.
Oh, okay. Was that question? Sorry, was that question towards us? I thought that was towards the chat for some reason.
Which one?
Sorry. If you're finding more characters that you're enjoying with lately.
Everybody, but I was directed it towards you guys.
Okay.
See ya, Riley, smash it up. But I was talking to you guys, so.
Okay, yeah. Inkling. I didn't expect to like Inkling as much. King K. Rool, I knew that I was gonna really like. He feels really smooth. I like using Snake. I miss Snake from Brawl. I think his up tilt is like lethal.
That's what I don't have yet. I don't have Snake.
Who else? I mean, I could just look at the roster right now and tell you. But
I'm looking to see who I had unlocked at the time that I posted the picture before and the characters that I was liking.
Looks like JR is all about Mario right now. The ones that I kind of like Simon a lot too, but I'm really bad when it comes to once I'm off screen, my up jump, I need a really good up B jump to get back on the stage. Like Incineroar's up or down B or whatever you want, up B, he goes up and then he does like a drop kick and he goes down. I can't do that.
Yeah, my cousin did not. He was really liking Incineroar because he's a big wrestling fan. And he's like, man, this guy hits really well. And then the moment he tried to recover, he went straight down. And he's like, it's a no-go for me.
Exactly. I am 100% with your cousin there. Big wrestling fan. Watched since WrestleMania 5. And it's like that recovery jump killed it. Absolutely killed it for me because, I mean, I just die. Like, I'm drop kicking the bottomless pit.
Yep. No, I'm seeing right here in the roster, Pokemon Trainer, Squirtle just feels really nimble for me. I like Squirtle.
I just get bothered with Charizard with his side special. I'm bothered by moves that'll send me right off the platforms.
Yeah. Ivysaur is really fun to play with. The puff smoke that they do is really fun. I can't think of anything else here that Ridley's fun. Ridley's pretty savage. That's the only way I could describe Ridley.
I had a problem with recovery with him at one point. I went to go use his up, and I went sideways instead.
That I've seen that problem a lot with people is Ridley's recovery. Jigglypuff doesn't feel as smooth as Smash 4. I was a Jigglypuff main for a little bit. I haven't really played as Cloud, but I heard he was nerfed from Smash 4.
I never got to play him in Smash 4, but I've been playing him. I played classic mode with him, and yeah, I didn't mind him. He was pretty good.
What about Bayonetta? Has she been nerfed? Because I've heard horror stories about Bayonetta. It was Bayonetta was Meta Knight, on the Wii, basically, from what I've heard.
Yeah, she was nerfed because if you watch the E3 Invitational, MK Leo was playing against Zero, and he did one of Bayonetta's like infamous combos where it's like a 0 to kill kind of combo. Pretty much she launches you up in the air, she does her side move, up B, and it takes you so far up the screen that it's like an insta kill essentially. And at the end of the Invitational, Sakurai was like, I'm glad that this, this is really, I like the Invitational, but mostly for the fact that I've already seen about 5 or 6 bugs with the game already. And people were laughing because he was referring to that Bayonetta kill because you can't really do that anymore.
Good. I'm glad Sakurai. I wonder, I don't condone it, but I wonder if Sakurai was like paying attention to the leaks to see if there was anything he could fix. But forget it. I'm not even going to paint the leaks in a good light at all. So they nerfed Sonic, apparently. Oh, Nick. Sorry, buddy. I know Nick loves Sonic. I'm just glad they nerfed those. I hate the Smash Balls. I play with them. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean I won't play with it. But I hate Smash Balls. I hate them. And I'm glad they nerfed some of them.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, yeah, Daisy's a lot of fun to play with.
Huh?
Daisy?
Yeah, I've been playing Daisy. But Peach, though, here's the thing, though. I've been playing Peach since Melee. So Daisy's just kind of a different skin. And in reality, Daisy was the first character, I think, that that was a different skin, like how the Koopa Kids and the Inklings have different, like they're just different people. If you go back to Melee, you would switch all Peach's colors, and then Daisy, it would just be Daisy there. So Daisy's actually been around for a very long time, and I haven't seen anything different with her. Is there any difference? Because I know sometimes the clones, one clone might be a little faster and another clone might have a longer reach, but they're basically the same thing. I know Dark Samus and Samus definitely do have differences, and I'm actually enjoying Dark Samus more than Samus, and Samus was my Pocket character, and Pocket being your secondary character, your go-to if you're, for whatever reason, you're not going to play your first character. So now Dark Samus might be my new Pocket. Yeah, no, Dark Samus is fun to play with too. I feel like she is more enjoyable than normal Samus. She actually looks a lot cooler too. Yeah, she floats. Yeah, she has this real Phantom-like feel to her. But I like the fact that she charges her beam with one hand, as opposed to putting her hand on the blaster. I did not notice that. It kind of has more of a savage feel, but I like her color schemes too. There's this white and red color scheme that's like really cool. She's just a BA character in my opinion. Yeah. Have you William probably hasn't, but David, have you been playing online? I know people are complaining about lag and drops and blah blah blah.
I've just watched some spectator stuff. I haven't actually gone online.
Have you seen drops and lag in the spectator portion?
Not in spectator, but I wonder if they're smoothing it out in spectator.
Okay. What about you, William or David? Have you played any?
Yeah, I played my first match the other day, and I won because it was just sheer luck. But I was really excited, and my cousin and I actually jumped into duo Smash. And we got our butts kicked quite a bit.
Yeah.
but it was pretty fun. It's just I'm not understanding the matchmaking because sometimes there'll be like a For Glory where it's like no items, it's just us, not even a smash ball, flat stage, and then you get a matchup where it's like all four of us, crazy items, smash ball, crazy stage, and I can't understand. Maybe you just have to switch that in the beginning. I'm not sure. And then I switched over to single player, and I was getting my butt kicked. There's a lot of tryhards out there, man.
Yeah, I've won once so far, and I've come in second a bunch. There's this one stage I don't like. I'm not liking I think it's the Metopia one, or I don't know. It's like it's a house, and I don't like that stage. Every time I try to get to, there's one guy just sandbagging the bottom, and he had Link, so every time I got to the floor right above him, he would just up A or up B with his sword, and I could just never get down there. And then I would try to jump down, and he would just boomerang me. And I'm like, and then one time I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stand here and see what he does. He just waited. I waited. I was like, oh man, I should just wait. I should just wait this whole thing. But I got impatient and wait for it. And then he just mopped the floor with me because I could just never get down there. But whatever, that's something that I got to figure out how to overcome that stage.
So did you get all your money back when you returned the game after that fight?
Right. No, they didn't give me my money back, but then I went on and destroyed the GameStop.
And then you saw Sonic's arms with the wrong color, so you pepper sprayed him.
Right.
Sonic, man. I grew up when I was a little kid, I was a huge Sonic fan, but not the crazy one, that you see on like DeviantArt and stuff.
Guys, hey, talk about Sonic for Nick. Nick Nathis is a big Sonic fan in Greece. I gotta step out because I don't know anything about Sonic. So you guys talk about Sonic. Other than I do know I'm with Williams. The Saturday morning cartoon version is my favorite.
Yeah, that one is so great.
I'll be right back, guys.
I love that when there's a guy that did a fan Sonic movie. He went and he got Jaleel White to do the voice of Sonic for it.
Mm-hmm. I saw that. That was really cool. Yeah, like I said, I grew up a big Sonic fan. Watched the cartoon, every single cartoon out there, even the Sonic Underground, which is lesser known.
I know that one. I kind of like the opening to it.
I woke up super early just to watch it because it wasn't in like prime time or anything. It wasn't even like 7 o'clock. It was like 5 a.m.
It's like getting up for school. I think our bus was like around 6:45, and I'd get up at 5:30, get everything all together. So at 6 o'clock, I could sit down. Fox would be starting their broadcast day, and the first thing that would air was a little obscure cartoon called Widget the World Watcher.
Yeah,
so, I mean that's childhood stuff, like just obscure cartoons like that. I love that sort of thing.
I'm trying to understand what dictated the studio to make him, like, I wouldn't say realistic, but you've got successful movies like Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Space Jam, where the integrity of the design is not squandered. It's still intact, and it's still the character, and the movie turns out fine. And I don't know if they could have done that, but from the initial design, I'm pretty upset because he looks really weird.
I don't know why they did that.
But then I saw a promo leak of another design, and that one didn't look as bad. He actually looks he's got like a cute kind of like chipmunk aesthetic to him. Mm-hmm. And if that's the real one, I'm okay with, because he looks fine there actually. But
yeah, they might need to go back definitely to the drawing board if you're talking about the poster and stuff. Man, the memes are so hilarious how buff he is and his legs.
And I've seen what Robotnik's supposedly going to look like, and he does not look like Robotnik.
Oh man,
they can't do this, especially after Detective Pikachu trailer dropped. Mm-hmm. You gotta make it very legit looking, And like you said, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Space Jam, but yeah, after Detective Pikachu, or even Rocket Raccoon, you gotta have it has to look the part now. All right.
I'm seeing if I can find that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for it too.
They're just so hilarious. I'm like, guys, talk about Sonic, and then you gotta come back like, Sonic movie sucks.
I think
It's like the Robotnik from the fan made movie looks a lot more like Robotnik.
I wonder if we're gonna get our 1993 Mario movie will be like this. Will be this generation's the Sonic.
Yeah, I think the silhouette poster for Sonic was a bad call. I think that's not the way you should do it. I think you should just, if anything, the one that would have been fine is, or less, as the Golden Gate Bridge one is what I'm trying to get at, like where he has his feet sticking out. If they would have done that,
I see that one now.
I think the internet wouldn't have gone as nuts. But that silhouette one, man, it looks pretty. It looks rough, man.
Yeah, they should have just did what they did with Detective Pikachu. At this point, it's like you don't have, like, we know who it is. You don't have to, like, you're either gonna want to see the movie or you're not. You know, it's not gonna draw people in. Like, oh wow, this mysterious creature. You know, it's like Sonic fans are gonna want to see it. Video game people are gonna want to see it. You don't have to like entice us. If anything, you're gonna have to try to prove to the video game fan why they should watch it. I think Pikachu did a good job at proving to everybody why they want to watch it.
Everything just froze there for a second.
Yeah, me too. I don't know if that happened to you, Ken.
Oh, no, I was good, but I just like kind of talk and I'm in my own world no matter what. So I don't know.
We'll see if it shows up. We'll see if it shows up on the recording.
Please talk about Portal. Okay, let's talk about Portal. Anybody have any opinions? I've never played Portal. Who likes Portal?
Portal's a really great game, and it's got a really awesome theme song at the end.
All right, what's the premise? Tell me about it.
The premise is that you're a lab rat stuck doing a bunch of different puzzles where you have to put portals in different areas to get out of rooms. So you're going from room to room, solving these different puzzles using your portal gun.
Okay.
And then stuff happens.
This game's been out for a very long time, though. I know that, but
okay, yeah, then I can probably just come right out and say it. Yeah, basically they put the scenario in there where, oh, this final room, there's no way to solve it, and it just leads the lab rat to their death. Well, you find a spot where you can actually stick a portal and escape from it, and from there on, the AI GLaDOS is actually trying to kill you and setting up rooms as you're going through, trying to get rid of you.
Gotcha.
Until you finally meet up with her and take her out.
Do you like the game?
It's a fantastic game. The second game's even better.
Really?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
The theme song I know was featured in Rock Band, which is kind of interesting. So I know that there's the theme song is popular. I didn't play Portal really. I had a friend who had Orange Box 10 years ago, and I think Portal was in Orange Box for the 360.
Yeah, that's how I first played it.
And I think that's really neat. But I grew up a Nintendo guy, and then I had a PS3 in 2007, and I was Sony from there on out. And then I recently was only an Xbox guy. But you can't see, but here next to me is my disconnected PS4, and under that is my disconnected Xbox, because the only thing that's connected to it is my Switch playing Smash. So,
do you like Smash in handheld?
I haven't played it in handheld actually.
I'm not a big fan.
I've done handheld on a bus trip.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would play it over like nothing. It's the only reason why I'm not a big fan is when you get into those really massive stages where, you know, they zoom out a lot. It's sometimes a little hard to play, but, you know, there's nothing to really, you can't really do anything about it. It's definitely better than not having it, because sometimes I'll like just play in bed, because my bedroom doesn't have a TV. So I definitely, you know, I think it's better on the actual TV, though. Guys, I got a question for you. So, let's say you have to, I'm a person, I'm buying someone a Switch for Christmas. Let's say I'm a parent. I'm buying my kids a Switch for Christmas. I can only afford one game with it. It came with no game. What game do I get him? The options that I put on, and you can say anything, but the option that I put on the thumbnail for this podcast was Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8, Super Smash Brothers, Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, and did I put another one on there?
Mario?
A Mario Odyssey, yeah. And I guess even Splatoon 2 could be one. And for this, we will say that I can also afford Nintendo Switch Online. So give me your reason. You can ask me any questions you want. I'm an actual person right now. And you can ask me any questions I want. You have to recommend a game for me. I'm getting it for my family. There's 3 kids in my families, and I have a wife.
I think it depends on how old the kids are.
Okay, so that's a question. My kids are 11, 7, and 5.
Probably Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Why?
It's more all ages friendly. The kids at that age might not be ready to be playing Smash Brothers yet. Breath of the Wild is more for the teens in terms of what you need to do in order to play it. The younger kids might not be able to handle all the intricacies of the combat and all the climbing and stuff.
Okay.
But Mario Kart, you can get those kids together as well as one other person and just play 4-player with. Yeah, I think you can do 4-player on that one, can't you?
Yeah, I think you can do
Okay.
Online 8-player, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of in the house.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the system's already set up where you have 2 players right there, and racing games like that. It's driving. They're going to be going one direction and turning left and right and just hitting a button to move. So that'd be something good for them to play.
Okay. Now, David, which one should I buy?
A question. Are all the kids, will they have a proper remote controller?
Yeah. Well,
Or is it going to be just whatever, just to make ends meet, like a one Joy-Con?
They all get 3 sets of Joy-Cons. I'll buy 3 sets of Joy-Cons.
I'm gonna say I'm narrowing it down to 3 choices. Can I add a game that was not included in your list?
Yes.
I would say Mario Party.
Mario Party, okay.
I think because that can be played with even just one Joy-Con. And, maybe they're a little bit young to understand the board concept, but I think just by seeing colorful characters on screen and doing random stuff, they feel like they're accomplishing something. But I know William was saying that they were a little bit too young, but I think that's the age that I started playing with my current cousins now. I was 11 or 12, and they were like 6, 7. So I think Smash Brothers would be like the no-brainer at the moment, like hot take.
Okay.
I think it's my age wondering what kids that age would actually be able to play.
Right.
Yeah. I think them just kind of like mashing buttons. The 5-year-old is in mashing button age. He's probably not like cognitively like knowing, up B, side B, whatever. Maybe he's doing directional inputs. Maybe he's moving the stick to the right to go to the right and left to go to the left. But I don't know if his recovery is like A1, where he's like jump, up B. I don't think he's at that level, but I think the joy of Smash is just kind of just button mashing and seeing things fly off the stage.
So you're saying Smash Brothers. Is that your final pick?
Yeah.
Okay, and William said, okay, now let's say, and it looks like Sid Patel says Mario Kart 8. Let's say I have enough money for 2 games. So give me your second recommendation.
I'll let William go first.
Yeah, going with what you said, perhaps.
No, William,
Smash as the second game.
In your scenario, William, I'm going to say, you know what? I just don't like fighting games. I don't want my kids to have fighting games.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. Which I actually, this is just, I want everyone to know, this is just a scenario. I love fighting games, and my 6-year-old loves fighting games. So I am not saying. I'm acting like a parent who complains to the manager.
You need man, you need a wig, man. You need a wig that's like that mom, that soccer mom that has like the bob cut.
Yeah.
It's like, can I speak to the manager? You know, like,
Right.
oh my goodness, man. I worked at Home Depot for 6 years, and I would see those archetype moms, man, come in, soccer moms, just stressed that they're just like, they're part of their diet is like maybe a box of wine every night or something like that. So I know what that can be, but
Okay, so in my scenario with William, at least, I don't like fighting games. I don't want them just fighting each other.
and I know some people would just, oh yeah, anything violent like that, no, I don't like. Well, that would probably put Breath of the Wild out of, oh, you're slashing at stuff. That, no, I don't like that.
No, not that bad. She's not that bad of a soccer mom. So Mario Kart 8 and William.
All right. I'm trying not to double up on the Mario. You know what? Let's throw Splatoon in there.
Okay, Splatoon.
Okay.
And I said, Patel, I'm not saying Mario Party simply because personally I've never cared that much for Mario Party, and it's hard for me to recommend something that I don't personally like.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but if somebody said they were into party games and stuff like that, yes, then I would probably say, okay, not my style of game, but hey, check this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, soccer mom only knows that her 11-year-old likes Fortnite. That's all she knows.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's funny you say that because I was at GameStop yesterday, and I kept just the mom and son, multiple son conversations when they're having like, do you still have that 3DS thing? Oh yeah, I do. Do you play it? No, I don't. Okay, well it's time to sell it. It's time to get something else. Do you even play?
I always hear that when I go to the store.
I hear those things, and then she's like, this one has a T on it. T means teen. You're not a teenager. and I want to be so nosy and be like, so what's the issue here? Maybe I can help out a little bit, and I have in the past, but sometimes you just got to let that kid play like SpongeBob, Nickelodeon stuff.
Like that. He has to earn Mario Kart by playing SpongeBob Kart.
But yeah, William actually.
Okay, so Splatoon 2, William, is your second pick?
Yeah, I'll go with that one as the second pick.
I was gonna say Splatoon 2. I think the colorfulness of it.
Oh no, but David, in your scenario, I don't want them having guns.
Then they can't have Smash either, because Bayonetta's in there.
Oh man, if they knew, if that soccer mom just said that, if she was like, no guns, no fighting or whatever, and then like realize that Bayonetta.
In your scenario, David, it's just no guns. Now, I won't know though if Bayonetta's in there, so you can still recommend it to me if you want.
Let's recommend them Binding of Isaac. You're not shooting people, you're crying onto them.
I'm gonna say Dark Souls. I think that's a good choice.
No guns in Dark Souls. It fits.
Yeah, Mario Party is probably my choice because I got to think about these three kids, man. They're going to want to have their hands on a controller at all times. They don't want to take turns. They don't want to wait for the person to die in Mario Odyssey. They don't want to wait for the person to die in Breath of the Wild. Just because for being with my cousins, it was three of us. Sometimes four. And we would take turns. And trust me, man, when you're the best one playing Super Mario 64 and you don't die for like an hour, they get a little bit cranky.
Okay. So you know what? I will say this, and maybe so wait, so are your picks Smash Brothers and you're just not gonna tell her about Bayonetta?
Right.
And then also Splatoon?
Yep.
Or not Splatoon, Mario Party.
Yep.
Okay, so there you have it, from the panel of experts. If the soccer mom doesn't like guns, it's Mario Party and Smash Brothers, but on some of the characters in Smash Brothers, they're unlockable anyways. And
yeah, just don't let them unlock that character.
Yeah.
If you can.
And then what I said, no fighting for David. And you had what were your two? Splatoon and
Splatoon and Yeah, Mario Kart 8.
I would say Mario Kart 8 is probably the big one, no matter like across the board. That's probably the one. Just to play it, like you can probably get anybody playing that game. And then because I have kids, I've seen this. Like I think there's been a shift in the culture somehow, some way, at some point, and maybe it's because of Twitch and YouTube. But kids nowadays, they don't mind watching. Back in the day, yeah, I didn't want to be player 2 because I had to wait for Mario to die. But now, it seems like kids would rather watch than actually play. So I think one of your concerns, David, about what you said about the guy who plays for an hour before he dies, that's not as prevalent, and it would be based a little bit on kids. But if I would say, do your kids watch a lot of YouTube? If they do, then yeah, just Mario Odyssey might be. I would probably pick Mario Kart 8 and Mario Odyssey, even though it is a double dip. I almost see It's hard for me to see Mario Kart as a Mario game. I just see it as a awesome racing game. But I do get what you're saying there, William. But again, soccer moms, they only know Mario anyways. It's like Mario's in Breath of the Wild. It's Mario versus Mario versus Mario versus Mario in Smash Brothers. You know, it's
back when I was younger, with the NES, for my cousin Chris and I, it was Bubble Bobble, 2-player Bubble Bobble. That was fantastic.
I love that game.
Yeah, no, but it's funny you say that, Ken, about the watching other people play. You kind of play vicariously through them or whatever. I was actually very true in the 90s too, because you got to think about like when I would go to Kmart with my mom, right? And my mom was trying to do like shopping on her own thing, and I would go to the electronics section. I would see these older kids. I was maybe 7, and these kids were teenagers playing like the demos for Final Fantasy VII or like any PlayStation game like Blasto or Grand Theft Auto or Driver or what have you. And I played vicariously through them. I would just sit there and watch because I was so in awe, man. Kids are just in awe. They just want, if they're not playing, they want to watch, right? And so, and even it holds true with the adults. My first experience, I already told you, was the Super Nintendo, was Super Mario World, and it was my mom's older brother. He got one, and I would just sit down. He wouldn't let me play because, he thought rightly so, little kids are very destructive. Little kids are very destructive. And even though I was a good kid, he eventually let me take the reins. And he was surprised when I was starting to beat levels because I had just watched them. I watched how to do it. I knew that if you had Mario's red shell and you popped it up, you could hit the block very, very, very high up and get Yoshi or whatever. So, yeah, I know that if you don't get those 3 brothers, Mario Kart or Smash, and you get Breath of the Wild, it's an acquired taste, and the learning curve is a little bit steeper, but they're all going to be sitting there next to each other, kind of like coaching each other through it.
Yeah, that's why Breath of the Wild would probably be the last one I recommend, but it's also going to be my favorite of the batch, even more so than Smash Brothers even. And that's only because the only person that could really play that game would be the 11-year-old in that scenario. But I think it's a great game, and eventually, now if the youngest kid was 11, I would say get Breath of the Wild would be a strong contender, but whatever, it's not in that scenario, I guess. Now let's ask you guys. If you could only afford 2 games, or someone's going to give you $1 million to go on a desert island for 5 years. You're gonna go on that desert island, but you can only bring 2 games with you. But there is online accessibility. What are your 2 games? And let's pretend you haven't played any. Also,
that you haven't played any games, or
of the Nintendo Switch, you have not played a Nintendo Switch game whatsoever. You have all your knowledge though. You know that Breath of the Wild is such a great game because you've seen the reviews. Blah blah blah. What games are you taking on your desert island for 5 years?
Ooh.
And it has to be a Switch game. Silence.
Can I give you
what?
Maybe like genre and not like a specific title?
No,
like
you can't bring a whole genre with you.
Okay. Well, I'd have to have a good platformer. You said 2 games, right?
2 games.
So a good platformer, just because I'm a sucker for platformers, and I'd probably bring Mario Odyssey, because there's a lot of content in that game. There's a lot of moons to be collected.
Ooh, Asit Patel said Overcooked 2 is actually would be a very good one for a family. I loved Overcooked 1. Go on.
And then I would probably do an RPG, because those are story driven and they're really long and there's a lot of content in it. So I'd probably do like Octopath Traveler.
Wow, that's surprising that you picked you didn't pick Smash Brothers.
Yeah, because you said that I have not played these games before, but had all the knowledge to them, right? The knowledge of their existence, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, not Smash Brothers, because if I'm by myself in this island, Smash can only do so much, you know?
You do have online capabilities, though.
I'd still go with my choices.
Okay,
I
so
still go with my choices.
Octopath and Mario Odyssey. Did not see that one coming from you. Let's go. Nick, you missed it. You missed it. We were talking about what would soccer mom recommendations. So you missed that. You'll have to go back and watch it. And then we're talking right now. If you only had 2 Nintendo Switch games to take with you to a deserted island that has Wi-Fi for 5 years, what games would they be? And we're right now with William.
Yeah. Well, probably the game I've played the most that I know that I really enjoy, and I played it previously before the Switch. Binding of Isaac.
Okay.
I put a lot of hours into that one, and it's just one of those games you can pick up and play. You know, it's like, no, I feel like playing something. Let's play a few rounds of this. So that would be one of my choices.
Okay, so we got Binding of Isaac.
After that, that's tough. I'm just gonna go with another RPG and go with Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Wow, this is surprising. I might ask this question more often.
I have still not finished that one yet. I feel like that's one that I could play a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like we have, let's go, Pikachu and Super Metroid for Nick. And then Asit Patel is saying Breath of the Wild and
Street Fighter Collection.
Street Fighter Collection, okay. And Nick is saying Breath of the Wild and Tiny Barbarian. Tiny Barbarian, wow. I am actually very shocked by these answers, and they're all very good, though. If I had to pick, without ever, Breath of the Wild would definitely have to be on there. I'd have to go for completion, because, you know, if you're on a deserted island, you're gonna beat that game probably in 3 weeks, you know. So, and you got 5 years left. But I don't know if I could wait an extra 5 years to play it. And because I have online capability, I would actually probably forego the other RPG and go with Smash Brothers. Actually, it would be a toss-up between Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, and I would just hope that in the 5 years that I could just become some kind of pro player.
See, I think it would be kind of a cheat if I said, you know, with the Wi-Fi and the online, just buy a Nintendo Online account and play just the games that are coming in from the NES games.
Yeah, that would be kind of a cheat.
I think that's a cheat.
Yeah, that would be kind of a cheat, I think. I think you could get to play. You could play, pick one of the games. Now let me ask you this. Let's say today's you is going to be stuck on a deserted island. Well, my question is, how are we powering the Switch? This is kind of a lost situation where there's a complex. Coconuts, yes. There's a bunch of hamsters, and there was a wheel, and you were able to, you know, get it working.
Utilize that energy, yeah.
So now let's say tomorrow you're going on the island with all the games that you've already played. So I wouldn't pick Breath of the Wild now because I played it. What are your games that you're taking?
I'm still taking those two.
Okay, Binding of Isaac and
yeah, because Binding of Isaac is it's fun that you could just No, every once in a while, when you feel the need to play a game, you can play a few rounds of it.
Okay, so for the next 5 years, I am changing my pick. William is not. David?
Okay, so I am changing from my RPG. I'm going to change it to Smash because 5 years. In 5 years, if you played nothing but Smash, you'd be really good, I think. So once they rescue you and you look like Tom Hanks in
Castaway.
Castaway,
Man, I'd look like Wilson.
then then you'd be like this pro Smash player that looks like a homeless guy or something. That'd be pretty cool.
I probably look like Robin Williams in Jumanji going, "What year is it?"
And then my other one would still probably be a platformer. So I'd probably say like Donkey Kong Country Returns, not Returns, Tropical Freeze, or man, any platformer, side-scrolling platformer. I don't know why, but that just tickles my fancy, man. Ever since I was a kid, platformers I'm a sucker for. I don't know what it is, and they just feel so natural to me. Even when I was at a demo station as a kid and I was playing a platformer, the depth of field that you have, like playing Spyro or Crash, you just get so it becomes so second nature, just kind of like muscle memory that you can just like easily. It could be Mario, it could be Crash, Spyro, it could be anything, and you just kind of know how to play. So I would just do any platformer, and I would just go with like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Okay, I could see Tropical Freeze of this. I heard that one is like super hard, but in a way that is like kind of the old school hard, not I don't know. I don't know. Celeste probably is harder though, but I don't know. Which is harder. I'm probably gonna just cheat with the online capabilities, say Smash Brothers and Splatoon, because I might just want something different. I'd be afraid that I'd beat it in one game in a year. Like, what if I beat Tropical Freeze in a year? Then would I just keep playing it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess if I was on a deserted island, I would, but. So now let's go one more scenario. No online. Now what do you bring? William, you're probably bringing the same thing because your games didn't depend upon online.
Yeah, none of them had anything to do with the online.
Yeah, so without online, what do you do?
I mean, I think Smash still has that appeal. You could play with computers. You could do spirits. You can 100% that, which I actually want to do, by the way, because school's over for now. And I'm gonna say Breath of the Wild. I'd like to 100% that game too, and this is what the DLC included. The DLC would be part of it. Kim? Yeah. Then definitely I'll do Breath of the Wild. There's just so much you could do in that game. It's so big.
You know what? I think. I think I'd be with you. I think I'd still. So Smash, I guess, is on all three of my lists, and Breath of the Wild then would jump back onto my list. So yeah. I'm pretty. I pretty much stick to like. I can eat the same meal for 7 days a week, kind of person. So I think that would be my pick. All right, now. Let me give you another scenario. What should you buy? I just did a video with my wife actually on what to buy a casual gamer. So, William, is your wife a casual gamer or is she a gamer?
It's tough to categorize. She likes her Pokemon. She was a big Sonic fan back in the day. One of the games I didn't expect her to finish was Project Cross Zone.
Wow.
So yeah, that's not one that a quote-unquote casual gamer would really pick up and play. So
is she one of those,
she's kind of in between.
Is she one of those gamers that can she can play a really hardcore game like Fallout 4? Okay, gamer.
She won't play one. She won't play one like that.
Well, for this scenario, she can play Fallout 4, and then once she's done, she won't play a game for a year. And then she'll go and play another game, get her fix, and then stop for it. Is that kind of like she is?
Or
does she
right
play
now,
games on a regular basis?
Right now, she hasn't been playing that much because there hasn't been a whole lot coming out on the 3DS that she can really play. And she doesn't. She always feels like she can't touch my systems because she doesn't want to screw anything up. And that's not the case. She can grab one of the systems and play all she wants. She really wants to play Let's Go Eevee because I picked that up recently.
Why hasn't she?
She doesn't like picking up the systems.
You're gonna have to buy her a Switch, buddy.
She wants a Switch, but I'm like, we can put 2 accounts on that one.
David, do you have any casual gamers in your life?
Yeah, definitely my my little sisters. I have a sister who's a sophomore in high school, and she loves Fortnite. And I'm surprised how fast she picked it up because she was playing mobile for a long time, and then I let her play with the Xbox controller on my Xbox account, and she was playing with her friends, and it's just I didn't have to teach her about the axis, the X and the Y axis, about how to move at the same time as like orientate your camera. I didn't have to teach her that. Fortnite taught her that. The friends taught her that, and then on top of that, the shooting mechanic and all these mechanics to it, and it's funny because my other sister, who's 22, she's been playing Smash with me since we were kids, but casually. Samus is her character. She just charges her beam and shoots away, and that's her method of fighting. And it's funny when I pitted her with the younger one who plays Fortnite, and how fast the young one picked up Smash. Like, she knew how to jump, she knew how to double jump, she knew how to like input direction.
Careful,
And,
I don't think we're allowed to like give any credit to Fortnite. I think you're supposed to make fun of GameStop, make fun of Fortnite, and like what else? What is like the cool thing to do nowadays?
yeah.
and talk smack about the really popular YouTubers.
Yes.
And
that one I've had to bite my tongue on because there's been a couple times where I'm like, man, they're just riding this Nintendo wave right now. They're not true Nintendo fans, but I stop myself because I'm just like, is that coming from a good place, Ken? Are you just bitter that you're not popular?
Yeah. No, and you got to complain about loot boxes and
loot boxes, yeah.
And the dreaded SJWs.
Yeah, no, and it was interesting to see them play Smash because, you know, the little one started beating the 22-year-old one, and she got really frustrated because she's like, I've been playing this before you were born, kind of thing. And it's just interesting that just to see the casual gamer mentality, you know.
Okay, so now here's the question for both of you, I guess. I'm just I thought I'd change it up a little bit and just ask a bunch of questions this time. If you guys have any topics you really want to dive into, just shout it out.
I do have one.
Okay, do your topic, then I'll ask you the casual gamer.
All right. So Charles Martinet, I'm sure that you heard that he got into the Guinness Book of World Records recently.
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah, for the amount of times that he has been playing Mario.
Okay, first off, who is Charles Martinet?
Charles Martinet, the pretty much the only voice, unless you count the cartoons. Yeah, the voice of Mario. He received the Guinness Book of World Records holding for voicing Mario 100 times.
Oh, nice.
Like 100 individual games, rather than like somebody like with the people doing like The Simpsons. You know, they've been doing those characters for 300, 400 plus episodes, but that's just one show.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So the voice. So he's done Mario technically more than the voice of Bart Simpson, because that's one show.
That's one show. Whereas him voicing Mario, it's Mario 64, and then Mario. It's his first one. Mario Teaches Typing, and just individual games.
Was that Mario? Was that his first gig as Mario? Mario Teaches Typing?
Mario Teaches Typing.
Oh man, can you imagine that? You come in for such a waste of a job as I gotta pay my bills, I'll just do Mario typing, and then that becomes your thing.
Yeah, his story. He talks about Super Mario 64 in the audition room, and or in that time frame, and they were saying, well, yeah, we'll call you back. The guy was really dismissive, and how he has just become like this, the face or the voice of the phenomenon that's Mario. It's kind of crazy.
It's cool. He must have got that job really early because when you look at the guy now, I mean, what, he's in his 50s maybe? And he's been doing
He's 55.
55. And he's been doing the voice of Mario since the Super Nintendo? So he must have got, I mean, what a gig. What a gig.
Yeah, and he was also saying how like the when he was auditioning for the role, he they said, yeah, well, he's Italian, and he was giving all these archetypes, and he's like, oh, Italian. I'm thinking of Brooklyn. I'm thinking of like a Italian guy, like hey, I'm from Brooklyn kind of thing, you know.
Oh man, that would be cool. Hey,
my mistake. He was born in 55. He's 63 right now.
Okay,
and he wasn't doing like a nice guy voice. He had him more in line with like a gruff Wario kind of.
Hey, you Goomba, get over here! I'm gonna stomp on your head.
Yeah, exactly. And then the guy was like, no, we're trying to, more family friendly. And then he started doing like these really like stereotypical like lasagna, mozzarella kind of.
That's a spicy meatball.
Yeah. And it's crazy. It's crazy how that panned out.
I wonder if Miyamoto and him, like, if Miyamoto's ever like, hey, say this. Say, hey, call my wife.
She's not gonna believe this, man.
And apparently he was also the voice of the announcer and referee in Super Punch-Out.
Oh, okay.
Well, he had to be the voice of the referee because Mario is the referee.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, in the NES one.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Never mind. Man, Mario got around. Well, that's cool. Congratulations, that guy. I hear he's very fan-friendly, too. Like, you can tweet him, and he'll tweet you back. Like, he is not standoffish at all. I see the pictures he takes. You can tell. Mm-hmm. Like, he's not just, like... He's like, like, he is all about his fans. And that's cool, because...
So, Ken, were you able to do video while doing the show?
Well, you know what? Remind me, like, next Friday.
For the next one? Okay.
Yeah, and Devin should be here. Well, we'll hear his next excuse.
Yeah.
All right, so 8 minutes left. So I'm going to go back, unless you guys have something to say. David, you have to buy your sister, the casual gamer, something for Christmas that's Nintendo Switch related. And it can't be the Fortnite Deep Freeze bundle. So she can get a skin.
Yeah. I'd get her Mario Odyssey because she missed out on games like Mario 64 and platformers like that. And I'd let her dive deep into a platformer to kind of. I'd suggest a game that kind of like revolutionized a type of genre like Mario 64. 3D was really big, the way it revolutionized 3D in a 3D space, moving in a 3D space. So I let her have Mario Odyssey and see how many moons she gets, how far she gets, where she asks for help, that kind of thing. I think that'd be the perfect game.
Okay. William, do you have a suggestion for just, there's some casual, the person gives you the scenario, I play video games all the time and my wife kind of complains. Or I play video games all the time and my husband kind of complains. I want to get him into video games. What should I buy?
Well, they'd have to have the system first.
Yep, they have the Switch. The person that's asking you has a Switch.
All right.
Or you know what? They have a PlayStation 4, but they figure that Nintendo's good for casual, so they're buying a Switch.
I mean, in my wife's case, if I didn't already have the stuff that I already have, I'd be saying Sonic Mania Plus,
okay,
and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee or Pikachu.
Okay, that's in my video that I did. I think I uploaded it yesterday. Actually, I was more in line with you, William. I said my top picks for casuals were Sonic Mania or Nintendo Switch Online to play Mario 1, Mario 3. because I figured everybody at this point has played the Sega Genesis or original.
And it's a great choice for people that are gamers from the old school days.
Exactly.
No, stuff that they'll remember and enjoy.
I'm just really excited that you guys are talking about Sonic Mania. I want to cry right now. Thank you.
They added the flying squirrel. I like him.
Ray, yeah. Ray and Mighty.
People forgot about him because he was in that arcade only game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's. I'm glad you guys bring that up because Sonic Mania has, in my opinion, the best soundtrack of 2017 as far as games go. T. Lopes, the composer, you can follow him. He's a Portuguese guy, and he is, like I said, this was like a fan-made game. Like they all met on like forums and message boards like 10 years ago. But T. Lopes is in Smash now. His creation, Studiopolis Zone, is in Smash. And he tweeted out the other day, he said, "Looks like I can retire now." You know, like he's so excited, and like I don't know what's going on in his mind that, you know, he started this journey like 10 years or so, and now he has a song in Smash. Like that's like, what does that do to your mind?
Dude, if I had a font, like if I created a font and Sakurai decided to use it in just one word bubble, I would die. You know, I would just die.
Well, that spot's taken by his wife. I didn't know if you knew, but his wife does all the user interface design for his games, all the UI design since Brawl, I think. So, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I gotta say, okay, fine. If he used one of my, like, if I could just sneeze and use that as a soundbite, like for some reason someone's allergic to Pikachu.
I just want to meet the guy, man. I don't know how that's gonna work. I'd have to catch him at an airport, and I don't know how much English he knows. But I just want to meet the guy and take a picture and tell him how much of an impact his games have had in my life. So,
well, we'll just keep doing this podcast until it gets 1 million subscribers, and one day
we'll invite him on. Oh my goodness, he just came in and is like, if he just came in and he said, "Never ask for anything again," like the
that's
meme,
all I would ask. Like, can you please say you actually hate the Smash Brothers community on our show?
Like slip him a crispy $20 bill and say, "Look, this is for you. Just say you hate the whole fan base, and say you never want to put Waluigi in or something."
Yeah. Just say Waluigi, no, and shake your head.
And that's it. He just leaves.
No, dude. You can punch me in the face. Like, I don't care what you. Let's have. Okay, we got 3 minutes. Here's big audacious dreams. Let's say for this podcast, that's going to be number 1. Sakurai comes to the podcast. He's in Japan or wherever we get him in. That's our. Anybody else have a big audacious dream? A guest star that would be crazy to come on?
You know what? Let's get Charles Martinet in here.
Okay, Charles Martinet.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
We can have him.
He'd probably be down, Ken. I mean, think about it. Like, if we reached out,
he'd be like, "Move over, kids."
And we could have him for like 30 minutes or an hour and just ask him questions like, "Hey, how was the audition process?" and things like that. And
I'm not saying this to like paint him in a bad picture, but I bet if I had 10,000 subscribers, he might be more willing. I mean, the guy's got to be pulled a million different ways. And 1,000, I mean, I could see him doing it. I could literally see him doing a show like this with 1,000 subscribers, but I don't know. I just don't know. I might but it's a big audacious dream. Maybe I'll reach out to him because of all the people, I could see him being a little more willing than someone else.
Yeah, he I don't know if you saw the Game Explain episode. They had Bill Trinan, who's he's really high up there in Nintendo of America. I'd like Bill Trinan to be in the show one day. That'd be really awesome.
I want to say I highly doubt it, but these are just dreams. Okay, so Bill Trinan, Charles Martinet, and Sakurai. Sakurai would be like our holy grail.
Oh yeah.
I guess for me it might be the one person for me would actually be Miyamoto or the Anuma.
Yeah, Anuma.
Those guys would be because of the Zelda connection. You know,
it would just be a matter of also having a translator on as well.
Dude, I'll learn. I'll learn Japanese.
What about Fubayashi, Ken, the director of like Oracle Ages, and he actually did Breath of the Wild as well.
Oh yeah, anybody really that's connected. But for me, the two names that like kind of jump out would be like I'll talk to the guy who made coffee for Enuma and be like, what was he doing? Like when you handed him coffee, what was he working on? You know, what kind of coffee does he drink? Because I want to drink that coffee. You know.
Yeah.
So, but all right. Well, we got about a minute or so left. We got to end on time. Anybody got any final? Wait, we're at hour 2, right? Or we're done. Are we done? Man,
that flew by quick. Yeah.
Yeah, this one went by quick. Okay, so if he came on wearing a Justice for Waluigi shirt, I would die. Yes, if he came on, I would just die. But give me any final things before I close it out. Nothing. Anything?
No, I don't think I have anything.
You're good, David?
No, I'm good.
Okay, well, guys, hey, it was a blast. Like I said, this 2 hours just like flew by, and I enjoy every single one of you guys. I really do appreciate you. I'll do my giveaway tomorrow. I'll just do a quick 5-minute live video where I can just kind of pull it on screen and do the random things, but don't just unsubscribe right away, people, after you don't win, because I'll do more contests. And hey, guys, it's fun. Throw out some things you want. Christian, what's up, my man? We're about to sign off. So thanks for joining us. But don't worry. Once this video is over, once I hit end stream, give it like 2 or 3 minutes, and you can catch it. You can catch the video itself because I leave them up and running. Guys, it is dangerous to go alone. Please share this video, this channel with a friend. We're at 1,000. Maybe if we can get to that 10,000, we can reach out to Charles Martinet, and then we'll shoot for 1 million and get Sakurai himself, and then 2 million maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Or one day we'll just go and we'll go to E3 and meet Miyamoto himself. So, guys, it's dangerous to go alone. Please share this video with a friend and have yourselves great days. Oh, and if we don't see it because it's the holiday season, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, all that good stuff. But we're not going to stop, though. We're always, every Saturday,